welcome to more Gran Turismo 6 Quick Match Specialtatin. Today we have, if I remember correctly, the very first quick match ever, or at least in the section of the first ever. And this one is Super GT500 at one of the more famous Super GT500 tracks, Fuji Speedway. And honestly, I can't remember if they had balance of power right at the beginning. So, three of the four are using the HSV. So, yeah, that's the most dominant car without balance of power, so I sort of have a hunch they didn't have it back then. But maybe, just maybe, it'll be competitive. We'll just have to see, folks. We'll just have to see. I'll just say this. I remember this better because A, it's the first one, and B, there was a section of these races where I won 10 in a row. I can't remember again if it had balance of power or not, but given that I had a section where I won 10 in a row at one point, probably not. Because it's one thing to use your own car of your own tune and cheat, it's another thing to use the charity cars that just happen to have a best one. Because everybody can use whatever charity car they want. Not necessarily everybody has a GSX. Granted, everybody probably has a GSX, but still, you can't necessarily assume that. But everybody can use the charity cars. So, well, I already have a relatively big lead, and the race just started, and it's a GTR in second, so I'm looking pretty picking good. Apparently, they didn't have penalties back then either. That GTR just straight up dive-bombed me. I can't remember much of this race. I did use the one, I just skimmed through it. But even though I don't know if I do or not, I predict I dive-bombed the holy Snikes back on that GTR that dive-bombed the holy Snikes out of me. And guess what? I'm right behind, I thought I was right behind it, Jiminy Cricket. You can hear those HSVs from a mile away. They have one of the more annoying sounds in all of racing. I'm gonna go with that ain't exactly like real life, since generally GT6 sounds ain't the best, but I don't honestly know. I don't watch GT500 because it doesn't really come on in America. Also, that sort of kind of raises another question too. Is the actual HSV dominant in real life GT500? Because it sure is in the game. It seems sort of kind of doubly weird too, because Kaz loves the GTR, but yet that happened. And well, that dirty HSV ran the GTR off there, so it doesn't really matter how good it is, because, well, it got wrecked. But that actually helps that HSV there, which is now in second, who's going to try to catch the lead HSV, who's gone and a half right yonder. Wait a minute, Jiminy Cricket, that's actually a GTR also? Huh. I didn't actually realize that. I just thought it was blue, and I didn't really pay all that much attention to it, because it sort of kind of ran away when the others got in a scuffle. That's actually a GTR. Huh. Well, that's something and a half right yonder. Because, well, that HSV is catching it quicker than lickety-split, really. Again, I can't remember this race, so I don't know about the other drivers, how good they are, and maybe it's partially driver too, because that driver did go fairly wide through there, and probably would have just ran me off the track too if I didn't slow down for him there, which is sort of kind of what he's trying to do there. But, well, his car isn't really good enough to do that, though, so, I'm giving him room, but, well, his car is really just slowing me down. Maybe I can just get random on the straight here. I got a much better line than him through there, so yeah, looks like I got it now. This is coming down to the final lap here. Those GTRs are indeed in my draft, but let's see if they can actually do anything, given that they're trying to wreck each other. Actually, they do. Jiminy Cricket draft is a little bit OP here. They were trying to wreck each other, rubbing on each other, and they still just flew by my car in the draft. But whatever, now I got a little bit of a draft, and, well, that's that, folks. I don't know whose fault that was, but given that I'm in fourth, relatively far back there, I don't think that was me. That's just my guess there. But anyway, yeah, now it's between the top three. Let's see how much they wreck each other. A whole heck of a heap. That's how much they wreck each other. Jiminy Cricket. This is one of the first quick matches I was ever in, and it's one of the dirtiest as well. Even through all the other ones I've been in, this one's still up there, folks. So, well, that's sort of a good thing and sort of a bad thing. Good thing is that got me a position from that front two scuffling. Bad thing is the front one is way gone right yonder. Unless he messes up, I pretty much don't have much of a chance. So, well, let's just see, folks. Let's just see. This is the last lap, so maybe he'll choke under pressure. We'll just have to see, folks. We'll just have to see. Given that I ain't even in second yet, it ain't looking too good for me. But, well, again, maybe, just maybe, somebody else will mess up. We'll just have to see, folks. We'll just have to see. I get a whole heck of a heap of other races. He did get a little bit loose off that turn, and really a lot of it loose because he didn't hold it. So, Jiminy Cricket. Now it's down to a two-car race. Let's see how OP Draft is here. I was probably 5 or 6 car lengths back, but let's see if I can get him at the line, folks. Holy snikes, I think I got it. Okay, this was an arcade mode back in the day. Jiminy Cricket. I mean, the camera wasn't on that HSV off the turns. Maybe it just got a whole heck of a heap of loose. But I kind of doubt it. Because I didn't see any smoke or anything. The smoke was from that GTR that did get a whole heck of a heap of loose because it was on camera. That's just some of the most OP draft I've ever seen in my life. But nonetheless, I get the win there because holy snikes, that's some OP draft and a half right yonder. Let's go back to the finish there. Just look at the speed difference right yonder. 9 miles an hour. And I'm in the grass, and I had to sweave to avoid hitting the other car. So, yeah, I got the win in the most arcade way possible, more likely than not. But, whatever. I got the win. It was a fun race, and it came down to, well, that. I think that's some shaking and baking right yonder. Slipstream engaged, and pretty much any other saying you could come up with that. And, well, that's probably a good thing that ain't a thing anymore. OP Draft is fun in arcade games, but Jiminy Cricket, the real driving simulator, yeah, that's not exactly real, folks. But it was indeedy dandy, really good racing that I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'm sure there will be more really good racing that y'all will hopefully enjoy in the future. Yeehaw!